Hi, this is Abhay. Welcome to my channel. Before moving forward with the video, let's see a quick demo of AI chat agent that I've built. So the AI chat agent has three options. First is schedule an appointment. Second is subscribing to a newsletter. Or third part is just a simple contact form. So let's start with scheduling an appointment directly. Once I selected the schedule appointment button, it is asking me for my email address. Let me put that quickly. I have entered my email address. Now it is taking some time. It is visiting the n8n that I have configured, going to the AI agent, and it will provide me with a response. Now you can see that it has provided me a response. It has shared a list of 5 slots where I am available. So my Google Calendar has been connected with it in the backend. So it has automatically went to Google Calendar. It has found out which slots I am available for and provided the details here. So I'll choose just one slot here. Here I have chosen the slot 4. And for the particular slot 4, the date is Thursday. It is 26th of June. And it is in between 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. And it has sent me an email regarding that. Let's see if the appointment has been booked or not. Let me open my Google Calendar. And here you can see that on Thursday, 6th of June, it has booked a call, 30 minutes call with Abhay. And here is my email address that has been entered here. So you can see that it is actually working. Coming to the next part, the agent restart itself once an action is completed. Now let's go and subscribe to my newsletter. It is asking me for my email address again because it has restarted the chat. It has subscribed me to the newsletter, and this particular subscription data is available within my Google Sheets. Let's see it where it is available. And here you can see that the email column, and in the email column who have subscribed, their email address is available. Now the third part of this conversational AI agent is just a simple contact form. Let's see how it works. Once I enter my email address in the contact form, it is asking me to share what message I want to convey. So here I have options to select a file as attachment. Either it's a document or photos or videos. Either I can record my audio from here too. And also with that, I can select a text basis option. So let me quickly attach a document. I attached a dummy document. Let me add some text. Once that's done, it has responded me that the ticket has been created, and it has also assigned me a unique random ticket ID so I can track the conversations from here on. And let's see where it is stored in Google Sheets. If I open the Google Sheet, you can see that the email address is there. The text return response is there. And also there is a link where I can open and see the attachment, what has been uploaded in the attachment. Let's see it quickly. And yes, here is the attachment that I've uploaded. And that's how you can build a cool conversational chat agent. Although there are few features which doesn't require AI, but few features like scheduling an appointment requires AI. So let's see how you can build it using Typebot n8n. Before moving forward, let's see what is Typebot n8n is. So Typebot is an chatbot builder which corely focuses on building conversational chats and advanced chatbots. So it is an open source software where you can host it on your own server directly. So the website for Typebot is linked below in the description. And n8n, as you may all know, it is very famous for software automations. And n8n is also available as an open source software. If you want to self-host n8n on your own server for lifetime free, I have made a detailed tutorial on YouTube. The playlist link for the playlist is available in the description of this video. Now I opened the Typebot app builder. And in this particular app builder, I have built this whole chatbot. Let's see how the flow works. So here is the start button. Once the chat has been started, I've assigned the session ID here. So session ID is a random ID that has been generated, and it is useful for tracking the future conversations with AI agent. Once the session ID has been assigned, the next step here is just chatting with the user. Okay, what the user wants from the chatbot. So once user selects any particular option, there is an connection with, if anyone asks for schedule an appointment, there are different connections. If anyone asks for going to newsletter, it is showing me different connections. And if anyone wants to just contact, it has different connection. So let's see how subscription to newsletter works and some contact form stuff. Because schedule an appointment is a complex stuff. It requires n8n and some AI agent configurations. Here in subscribe to newsletter, you can see that there is a simple text where I have added the field. I have mapped the dynamic field as email IDs. And here is the insert row in Google Sheets. So it doesn't require connecting to n8n directly if you just want to add a data in Google Sheet. So you can do it via directly Typebot. And once it has been done, you can see that the newsletter has been subscribed. Also, if you want to modify it to the next level and making it going it directly to your email software, you can use n8n to send the data from Typebot to n8n directly. and then send it to your required email service provider so you can map it directly in the email service provider. For the contact form, again, it's straightforward and simple. You can see that it is asking for some details. It is again setting the email value because Typebot works on some variable parts and it has stored the email in email variable. And then it is asking me for the simple text input and where I have uploaded the files previously, and it is uploading the whole details to Google Sheet. One core thing for this is whenever I store the audio clip or whenever I store the attachment, it is asking me to store its visibility to private. If you are owner of your workspace in Typebot, only you can view that after authentication, what file has been uploaded. So again, it's very great for security purposes. And now let's see the elephant in the room. That is scheduling an appointment, which is complex and it has been built with an n8n workflow. So once anyone clicks on schedule appointment, it directly goes to the next part of the Typebot. That is, it is called as blocks or groups within Typebot, and it is asking me to ask an email. The same email variable set up here and here in this case has been set up here. And once this email has been set up, it goes to the next part, that is finding out the available appointments. And then it goes to n8n, which is the n8n URL. It sends some data like query parameters and do a HTTP post request to the n8n's webhook. Once the data is captured from n8n, n8n's reply back with few slots, those are available. I have created variables inside Typebot to map those slots, available slots within slots, like slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, etc. Once this data has been posted back again from n8n, I am going to the next chat option, and here I have mapped the variables here. Like it is asking me here are the Abhi's time slot, and you can see that the available time slots variables are stored here. And then I'm asking user to select any slot out of which. So if user selects slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, so it has multiple different URLs where it calls. So if anyone selects the slot 1, it is going and calling a webhook. In the webhook, in the query parameters, I am passing the value of slot. So the URLs for all the 5 slots after calling each is the same. The point is that the only query parameter within this is changing here. And at last, you can see that there is one group which directly says that your appointment has been scheduled, because once n8n sends back the data, it is stored in a variable called as status. So n8n sends some data after performing the application of scheduling the appointments once the user selects that. And if the status of this assignment has been confirmed here, then you can see that the next part, that is appointment has been scheduled, user gets a message. So Typebot has a block which restarts the whole chat too. And I have also used this restarting the chat block particularly in each of the part. And that's how the whole agent works. Now let's see how it works directly in n8n. Here is my n8n workflow. There are two parts of this workflow. First is availability checking and second is actual appointment scheduling. So let's see how availability checking works. So here it starts with HTTP post webhook. Here is where the post action is. And you can see that this is the webhook URL. So if I open the webhook, you can see that I have set up the HTTP method to post, and here is the test URL as well as the production URL. And make sure if you're setting this up, you want to select the respond node as when the last node finishes. What this option does is it runs the whole workflow either with AI agent. When it completes, it sends back the data to this URL. So Typebot waits until n8n completes the whole operation and waits for the whole data. And once the data is received, we'll be mapping the slots within variables in Typebot, just as I showed in the previous step. Let's see how AI agent and what prompts I have given to the AI agent. Here is my AI agent node. Let me open my system message here. And this is the most crucial part. I have written multiple lines of long prompt. So what this prompt is, so I'm just telling that you are an assistant responsible for finding out the slots. And then I'm particularly telling that use data and time tool to get the current time in IS, because I am in Indian standard time zone. And then it is asking me to determine the day of the week from which the current date is. Then I'm sharing my availability. I'm available from Monday to Friday between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. IST in a 30-minute intervals. So the call I want anyone to book from that conversational AI agent is for 30 minutes only and within this particular available time frame. Then I'm telling it that generate exactly 5 time slots for 30 minutes long, because I want to build 30 minutes meeting. And it should be in the current and upcoming weeks, starting from the current day onward and within the next 30 days, considering only Monday to Friday because my availability is within that. And then I am saying that for each slot, check my availability with Google Calendar tool. I have connected Google Calendar tool with this AI agent. And if any slots is busy, continue searching forward in time. So within the next 30 days until you find free slots, and that should be exactly 5. And then a key important step I have mentioned here, if after searching the next 30 days, if you cannot find the available slots, 5 available slots, return as many as possible, because the system expects 5 slots to set up in Typebot and setting up the variables there. And there I have mentioned few formats. And at last I have mentioned that this is the example output I wanted from you. And the output is slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5. So I can map it in the exact variables in Typebot. Let's see the model connected here and tools connected to this AI agent. The model is OpenAI chat model. I am using GPT 4.1. Here the memory is simple memory. There is nothing complex in the memory. However, one thing is that I have mapped the session ID from here. So let me show you where the session ID generated and from where I have mapped it. So in the Typebot at the first start, you can see that here is the session ID block, and here it is generating a random session ID. So in Typebot, it has an option to generate a random value string and store it in a variable. And I have stored the variable here, and I have passed it with this HTTP post request to n8n. And I am using that session ID to map it for a AI agent memory. And then comes the main part, that is date and time tool and Google Calendar tool. Let me show you the date and time tool first. I have not did anything fancy here. I just set up the operation to get the current date and include the current time. And I want the time zone in Asia, Kolkata. So that is my time zone, Indian Standard Time. And then comes to the main part, that is Google Calendar availability. So here in Google Calendar, I have connected my account. If you want to know how to connect Google accounts with n8n, I have made a dedicated video too. You will find it in the playlist in the description. Here the resource is calendar. So out of many resources, calendar, and the operation is availability. So it is just fetching my availability. And then here the calendar that is listed, my calendar, start time, which is automatically defined by the model. If you cross it, you can see that there is a small stars here. If you click that, it is automatically defined by the model. So AI agent model will automatically define it, start time and end time, and what options you want. So output format is availability. And the last part, that is the structured output parser. Because in the AI agent, I have mentioned here in the system message that I want the example output as it is. Sometimes AI agent fails to receive this output. So what I've did that in the AI agent section, here I have turned on require specific output format. So here I have used the output parser model, because whenever you select the require specific output format as turned on, the output parser tools comes in. And here you have to share the example JSON. So you can see that here is slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, and what exact details I want to be stored here. And this is how the first part of the workflow works. It is fetching out my exact availability. So once user selects any slot, we are making a HTTP post request in n8n. The URL is same here, but as I mentioned earlier, to map the variables of slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, I have defined it in multiple blocks here. Coming to the n8n, the scheduler part is fairly easy because it is not using any AI agent. It is using just a simple webhook. Once the data comes here, I have used a code module here. Why code module? Because I have structured the output of AI agent in such a way. Let me show you. Here the example output I received from AI agent is something like that. Here there is one variable slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, etc. And within that variable there is day, then date, and there is time slot. Whenever we are scheduling appointments within Google Calendar, we need a start time of that appointment and we need an end time of that appointment. To format it correctly, I have used a code module, and within this code node, you can see that it is a JavaScript, and here I have simply mapped the input that I am receiving from this webhook. So from Typebot, whenever I am passing the data, you can see that in query parameters, I have seen that the slot, and here I am passing the actual slot data. So I am using a custom code. You can see that. And if you want this custom code, the link will be available in the description. And you can see that here is the JavaScript, which actually splits it in two parts. That is start time and end time as Google Calendar wants. And once the data has been passed from this code node, the next node is Google Calendar node. And here I've used the Google Calendar node. As mentioned earlier, the start is mapped from the previous code node, and the end is again mapped from the previous code node. And then attendees, I am passing the email address that I've received from the response from Typebot. Here, guest cannot invite others and guest cannot modify the events. And summary is the title of that particular event. And once this is done, the whole thing works. That's it for this video. If you want the n8n template of this workflow, you can find it in the description. And If you want more videos on Typebot n8n and building conversational AI agents, do let me know in the comment section. Or if you require help in setting up this AI agent, do let me know in the comment section. I'll try my best to help you out. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and share your feedback in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.